Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Tarnisha Mosash, your host of Self Love Sundays with Sass, who comes here every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better our best. And I literally can't believe we are in the last month of October, and yet here we are. And so today we're going to get laser focused. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to reach your next level. And so maybe you're trying to break free from what you've been, from where you've been, and trying to elevate. But here's a catch. Okay, going to your next level requires more than motivation. It requires strategy and some deep personal exploration. So I'm going to share with you the top three ways, three powerful ways, I would say, that will help unlock the next version of yourself. Strategies that you can put into place right now, today. And here's why. Your next level isn't somewhere out there. And I know we think it's like somewhere out there. No, it's already in you. It's just waiting for you to step up and claim it. And I'm going to say it again for the people in the back, okay? Your next level isn't somewhere outside of you. It is literally inside of you, waiting for you to step up and claim it. So the first key, the number one, the first step I would say to reaching your next level is redefining your standards. Okay, we have to redefine our standards. And when I say standards, I'm not talking about superficial expectations, right? I'm talking about the beliefs, behaviors, and boundaries that dictate how you show up in every area of your life. I always say the way you do anything is the way you do everything. People tend not to believe it because they don't track their behaviors across work, home, and with friendships. But it's the truth. Your current reality is a reflection of what you've been willing to accept. Your current reality is a reflection of what you're willing to accept. And I know sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. And in order to get to our next level, we have to swallow some tough pills. If you want a life upgrade, it starts by raising what you consider non negotiable. You have to raise your what you consider non-negotiable, because if you don't set listen, if you don't set your standard, life will set it for you. And trust me, it's always going to be lower than what you deserve. Yes, if you watching this, you have to set the standard. If you don't, life is going to do it, and it's going to be lower than you deserve. So I want you to look at I want you to look at it like a thermostat, right? Like your standards is like a thermostat, and they determine our baseline for what we're willing to tolerate, impacting relationships, career choices, health, and overall happiness, right? You set the baseline. So it's funny because in the winter time, well, we in October normally they wait after October 15th to turn the heat on, right? And some people fight whether or not the heat is going to, we're going to leave it on 65 or we're going to leave it on 70, right? Whatever that standard is, it's the same thing when we look at, what is the baseline? Where is the set point for everything that you've been tolerating in your life? Because many of us settle for mediocrity. Many of us settle for mediocre standards because we're afraid to ask for what we think is too much, or we're comfortable with the familiar. But truth demands, okay? But when I say truth, I'm talking about growth, okay? Growth demands higher expectations and non negotiable boundaries that align with our highest good. In other words, it's time for you to aim for more. There is more for you. There is more out here that you can achieve, and there's more that you can go for. And you have to stop being afraid. And what I mean by that is feel the fear and do it anyway. Okay, so think about it like this too. If you constantly allow toxic relationships, those are relationships that don't align with your higher good. Those are relationships that don't make you feel about yourself. They're relationships that are not taking you higher but dragging you down and draining you, right? Unfulfilling jobs, you're just there for a paycheck, you really hate what you're doing, or poor self-care, meaning that you're not taking care of the vessel, which is your body, and you're telling yourself that's okay, I'm gonna just settle for this, I'm gonna just take it. This is, it's a job, it's paying my bills. And you don't have to stay there though. So imagine if you decided that that's no longer acceptable. What gets to change in your life if that's no longer acceptable? If those relationships are no longer acceptable, if the job that you're on that you hate going to every single day, what if you decided that that's unacceptable? What if you decided that you don't care for the way that you treat your vessel, the way that you treat your mind, the way that you treat him, what if you decide that it's no longer acceptable? Everything in your life would start to shift and to meet your elevated standards. Everything in your life would shift when you decide that it's no longer acceptable. I'm no longer going to accept those things. I'm no longer going to accept those people. I deserve more. And so I'm going to give you some practical steps, right? So assess your standards. Identify areas of your life where you feel dissatisfied and or stuck, right? And so it's funny when people say they're stuck, I always say, well, raise your hand, right? You raise your left hand. They raise your left hand. I'm like, raise your right hand, right? And I'm like, well, if you can move, you're not stuck. So ask yourself, what standard am I setting here? Write down what you're willing to elevate and commit to based off where you feel dissatisfied and or stuck today. Okay, set your non-negotiable boundaries. Set at least one new non-negotiable standard this week. Not next week, this week. It could be a boundary in a relationship, a commitment to a daily improvement, like, okay, well, I'm going to walk every day, or I'm going to read for 10 minutes every day, or I'm going to set my vision. I'm going to start writing down things that I'm interested in. I'm going to start seeing where the gaps are in my life, like where I want to be versus where I am. And I'm going to start by journaling on that, 5 to 10 minutes a day, or prioritizing time for personal growth and development in or taking care of your vessel, right? So set one new non-negotiable standard this week. So two practical tips: access your life standards right now. Where are you feeling dissatisfied and stuck, right? What standard am I setting? Okay. Write down where you're willing to elevate and commit to. Set a new non-negotiable standard this week. Okay. This week. Okay. And I want you to do this in such a way where it doesn't feel draining. If something starts to feel draining to you and it's pulling you down, then it's not going to take you to a higher level. Now, I'm going to say that some of the things that we do, some of the strategies and goals that I work on, they're not always going to be sexy. Okay, they're not always going to be. There's some systems. I don't like to build websites. That doesn't feel sexy to me. So I get help for those things. So don't feel like I'm going to set this and it's going to be too much for me. Remember that we don't have to do anything alone. We get to have help, right? So your life is a reflection of what you tolerate. To get to your next level, you have to start tolerating only the best. Only the best people, only the best career choices, only the best for my mental health, only the best for my emotional health, only the best for my body, what I feed it, the way I train it, so on and so forth. And so now I'm going to move to the second way, right? So the second way to go to your next level, it's going to sound a little bit unconventional, but hear me out. Harness the power of contradictions. Harness the power of contradiction. So what do I mean? We're often taught to be consistent, stick to one path, right? To find our purpose. But the truth is, your next level is often hidden in the contradictions of who you are. Your contradictions are actually your superpower. Embrace every facet, every paradox within you, because that's where your uniqueness lies. And so this is what happened. Most people, and this I just did a staff development day, right, for the New Jersey Jersey City Public Library. I did their staff development, and I just was talking about this, about how do you show up? Do you show up with your full self, all of who you are, right? And most people don't. And they don't realize that there is something in there that is uniquely you, that when you harness it and show up, it sets the tone. I know I'm a different speaker. I'm not claiming to be better than anybody else, but I know I'm different because I bring all of me, all of my sassiness, all of my, just all of my quirkiness, all of my upbeatness, all of my spiritualness. I bring it all with me, right? And even some of the things that would be considered contradictions. So let me tell you let's get to what that means. So many people feel conflicted by opposing traits or goals, right? So wanting stability but craving freedom, okay? Being introverted yet desiring influence, okay? Society, pushes us to choose one identity or goal, but the reality is, the strength lies in embracing every side of you. And so I was doing some research on this, and it revealed like that highly successful people are often exhibit diverse, even contradictory traits, right? Which makes them adaptable and innovative, right? Learning to balance these traits can help you lead to personal and professional breakthroughs. And so the person who came to mind the most, just to give you an example, was Steve Jobs. Think about Steve Jobs, right? So he didn't choose between, art and technology. He merged them. So, creating Apple's unique appeal. So imagine the possibilities if you allowed yourself to be both a dreamer and practical, or empathetic yet assertive. That's exactly what I do. I am a dreamer, yet I also bring the practical side of me. So often you can probably see it in my teaching side, right? Because I consider myself a visionary. That's why I'm a vision strategist coach, right? And I also still bring the practical side of me, the military side, to me too. That's very everything has there's a place for everything, and everything has a place. So I bring both sides when I show up. And so I'm going to give you again some practical steps. So identify some of your contradictions, like make a list of traits or goals that seem to contradict each other in your life, right? So think about what I said in the beginning. Some you crave, you want freedom, yet you want stability. Okay, so what is a career that allow you to do both? And so for me, that's why I decided to go into the speaking realm, because I desire freedom, which means I can create my schedule and go around and do staff development and deciding what kind of speaker you want to be. Because you have keynote speakers, motivational speakers, you have workshop facilitators, you choose that, right? But I wanted the freedom, yet the stability of the type of money that I wanted to come in. Okay. So just think about it. Being introverted, yet desiring influence. How can you merge the two? All right. So just starting to think about where there's some contradictions in your life. And so integrate, don't compromise. So for each contradiction, challenge yourself to create a daily practice that incorporates both, right? So if you're both creative and analytical, use creative approaches to problem solving. That's a way to combine the two. If you're compassionate but assertive, practice setting boundaries with empathy. Okay, that's something that I had to really work on, because that I do have both of those sides as well, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing with you the actual things that that's contradictory to me. Where I am very assertive, yet I'm compassionate, and I had to learn how to bridge the two, and it works. Okay. So, what's your challenge this week? I'm going to give you challenges in each one of these, right? So, pick one contradiction that you've been ignoring and or suppressing. Find a way to celebrate it, right? So, I started celebrating those things about myself, and because, for example, I did the staff development day, and I also tell people this, right? After you do something, I want you to celebrate your small wins. And so, after I taught goals, vision and goal setting in the morning. That's my thing. If for those of you, you may not know, you may be new here, and welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who've been here for a while, and thank you for sticking around, you know that I teach vision and goal setting. And so I did that workshop in the morning, and in the afternoon, I taught about communication. So it was communicate to elevate, mastering workplace communication. And so all throughout those talks, I was merging both sides of me, where I was assertive and firm with answering questions and getting them back on track, yet created an empathetic atmosphere, right? And so I celebrated blending those things. And so I want you to do that too. So whether it's blending two interests or allowing yourself just to show up fully, please allow yourself to show up fully who you are, integrate it with confidence. Your next level is hiding in the contradiction you're afraid to embrace. I'm telling you, be bold enough to contain multitudes of who you are. We are not one dimensional beings. There are so many different layers to us. Oh, but listen, how your life changes when you learn how to merge those. When you learn to stop listening to people who tell you you're too much and learn how to merge that too much with some harness it with some practical steps, right? Because that too much may be the very thing that a room needs to set it on fire, right? I was always too much for somebody. Guess what? That was too much for them. It wasn't too much for what it is that I'm doing right now. So that's why I'm saying this to you. So I don't want to believe it. So the third third final point today, to reach your next level is reverse engineer your dreams. Now, some people I know, they be like, I don't have any regrets. And that's a powerful place to be. It really is. But all of us have dreams that we haven't fully pursued, all of us, or goals that remain on the back burner because life is always life, and so we make excuses. And I'm just going to tell you, every time you see me, we can either have excuses or results, yet we cannot have both. Okay. And so what if instead of setting those aside, you use them as a blueprint for the life that you want? What if you decided that you're going to fully go after your dream? What if you decided you're going to stop letting life and your emotions run what you do, and instead you use them as a blueprint of the life that you want? Your dreams, I wish people would hear me. Your dreams are the map. Listen, it was years, and I want to say this goes back to like 2017, where I saw myself speaking in rooms, right? And I saw my children working. And this was like 2017, 2018 time frame. I am doing that now. That was the roadmap. Use them to find the path that leads to your highest self. Your dreams are the map. They're not. Why do you think the vision was just given to you? Everybody doesn't have the same visions and goals. Everybody, you may hear people say, I want to be a millionaire, but all people don't have the same route and the same dreams to get there. Why is it that you have the dream and the vision that you have? Think about it for a second. It's not the same. And so reverse engineering isn't because I know people don't like the word regrets, and I know some people are living in some regrets because they didn't pursue certain things. And I just wanted you to hear this: life is not done with you yet, and so you get to do it. How do I know life is not done with you yet? Because you're still alive, right? So it just isn't for regrets or missed opportunity. It's a reverse engineering is a powerful way to proactively look at the dreams and ambitions that you may have set aside, and so we can map a path and make them real. So I know the no regrets, that mentality is empowering. I get that, but unpursued dreams often reveal the areas that we truly value and want to explore. We just are not making the choice to do it. So by reverse engineering those dreams, we can uncover more authentic paths that you can follow. Okay. And so think of it this way, right? There's a version of you who has already achieved those big dreams, right? That you see, whether it's building a successful business, traveling the world, or living in complete peace. I'm going to tell you that too. Like, there was a point in my life where I envisioned just having peace in my home, and I wasn't yelling at my kids, and I wasn't going off on people. Like, I could see that for myself. And then, when I wasn't living that, I can say, like, I did feel a lot of regret. But then I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? How would that version of me really live? How would that version of me, respond to my children? How would that version of me, wake up every single day? How would that version of me answer opportunities and calls? Like, what daily actions and choices would they make? Like, this is all about clarity on what truly matters, not regretting the past, right? So when I was in it, I wasn't regretting like my past mistakes when I started like dreaming about it, right? No, it wasn't that. It was just me saying, like, what if I fully stepped into it though? What if I embraced it now? What would my life look like? And I'm proud to say that I'm starting to live those things. Now, here's the thing: the difference between here and there is time. It's going to take time, and you're going to have to believe as you do it. Yes, faith without works is dead, and works without faith is dead. Because what happens is you'll start getting into a project, you'll start working on it, and your mind is going to look for evidence to say, see, this is why this didn't work. See, it's not right. Never knowing that all it's going to do is take time. I'm so glad that I kept moving forward. That's why I'm able to come here every single Sunday and talk to you. And I'm living my dreams. I'm in rooms and I'm teaching people, and I'm helping them to create their vision, make it plain, set their goals. And I'm actually have a community where they're being held accountable. And I have people who are starting business. Listen, getting funding for their business. I'm telling you, within a month, I have a person who's looking to, get about 200K in funding. I think as of right now, I think she's up to almost $73,000 in funding for her business. Why? Because she got in a community of like-minded people. I have somebody right now. who's working on her health and within a month saying this is the best she's ever felt. Why? Because she's in a community of like-minded people where she have people holding her accountable. And as life is all lifing for each and every one of them, they're still able to be on the trajectory to do the things that they've been dreaming of. So let me give you some practical tips, okay? So identify unexplored goals. So reflect on areas in your life that, again, we talked about earlier, that you're feeling unfulfilled, right? It or where you've held back on pursuing something meaningful. Well, for whatever reason, you held back on your purpose and what really brings light to your world. Write down your biggest dreams and ambitions, and what area do you want to reflect on work on today, and then ask yourself, why have I not acted on it to this point, and who do I need to become so that I can, achieve this goal? What community do I need to get in? Who do I need to get around? Who do I need to have as a mentor? Who do I need to have as a coach, right? So write that stuff down, all right? And then you can start to design your future path, right? So for that vision, I want you to develop your SMART goals, right? Make it specific, measurable, actionable. You have to get into action, right? Make it risky, outside of your comfort goal. So many people set these small goals, right? And it's like, come on now, push yourself just a little bit. Make it exciting for you that you want to go after it. So make it risky and then put a time on it. Where do you want to be by December 31st, 2024? Uh, March 30th, 2025. January, I mean, so you can do December 31st, 2025. Where do you want to be? And then build your goals into it, right? Consider the habits, values, and decisions that you need to make to reach your goals and your dreams. And if you don't know it, that's why it's so great for you to get in a community of like-minded people and or get you a coach. So I want you to work on that this week. Remember, regrets or not, your dreams are the guide to everything that you desire in life. Everything. It's where you leave your mark, it's where you build your legacy. So follow them with purpose and then step into your next level. So, guys, you have your top three today, okay, to step into your next level. Redefine your standards. Listen, harness the power of your contradictions. Come in, merge your full self. The world needs all of you, not half of you. Don't listen to the naysayers that tell you too much, you should do this and you should do that. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I want you to be all of you. And yes, we still grow. I'm a personal development girly. You're going to always find me in a course, in a class somewhere with a coach, because I desire to become the best version of myself. And I'm going to do that with all of you. Okay. One thing's for certain and two things for sure. All of me is coming. And then reverse engineer into your dreams. Go after those things that you say that you want. Develop those goals now. Make the plan in October, get yourself set in November, and then December, be off to the races so that in 2025, when January comes, you're already in it. Your next level is about embracing all the complex layers of who you are, raising those standards, exploring the contradictions within you. Because I always say, when you contradict yourself, you know you're growing anyway. That's how you know you're growing. Okay, using your dreams as a roadmap and a guide. Don't wait. Oh my God, I wish you knew. Don't wait to become the person you want to be. Step in it boldly, fully, right now. It is not about perfection, it is about progression, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Every single day, do one small thing. Your next level isn't just a destination, it's a decision. You have to decide today to go all in and play full out in the game of life. And so, if you're ready to embrace every part of you, step to your next level, I want you to drop a comment and just let me know. I'm all in. I'm all in. And I want you to tell me the one thing you're ready to take on this week, right? And so, and please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also share it with somebody who you know is ready to step up to their next level, but they just don't know how to get there. Share this video with them, and I cannot wait to talk to you next Sunday. I hope you have the most amazing rest of your day. Bye now.